All right, that was Fred Gillen and crew covering Hallelujah. And we have Fred and Catherine Miles here in the studio at WNJR, Acoustic Songs Live, and I think we're all set up to go. Fred had a gig last night, I know, at, where was it?
At the Leaf and Bean on the Strip in Pittsburgh.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Bill Toms and Tom Briding are acquaintances, friends of mine, so yeah, they're great guys. You guys want to dig into something right away, or you want to talk a little bit, or it's entirely up to you.
Yeah, why don't we sing a song?
Yeah, cool. All right. So what are you going to do for us?
This is the last song on my new record. It's called You May Be Down.
Your new record being...
Match Against a New Moon.
Okay.
That's the name of the record.
All right, cool. It's
And,
Fred Gillen and Catherine Miles join us here on Acoustic Songs Live on WNJR.
Alone down roads of broken wreckage I have come, with no map to the light I've run. Every time I stumble there's a hand that gives me strength to stand. You may be down, but you're never out. You may be down, but you can always start again. I've done hard times, hospitals and jails. I rode the highway and I rode the rails, by the longest journey down the darkest road. I found a home. You may be down, you're never out. You may be down, but you can always start again. There's no telling what can happen. You stay in the fight when your eyes are open, with your fists clenched tight. There's always a friend, there's always a new day. Sometimes you just keep walking though you can't see the way. You may be down, you're never out. You may be down, but you can always start again. You may be down, you're never out. You may be down, but you can always start again.
All right. In case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live here on 91.7 FM at WNJR Studios. I have Fred Gillen Jr. and Catherine Miles joining him in the studio on vocals. This is cool, man. Great song. A lot of heart there. So I was doing some research into the show and or for the show, into your background and going over your biography. And you grew up in Peekskill?
Peekskill, New York, on the Hudson River.
Yeah. What's Peekskill like
Uh, it's a small city. It's a quickly growing city right now, but it was very depressed. But it's, you know, it's on the train line to New York City, so it's also a suburb. So it's a combination of things are making it grow. It's the fastest growing city in New York State, and New York State is, you know, it's huge. Like Pennsylvania, it's massive, you know. So
Yeah.
It's really diverse in every way, you know, economically, racially, everything. It's got a little bit of everybody,
Gotcha.
so it's cool.
When you said like depressed economically, what do you mean? Was it like an industrial city at one point or anything? Or was it just
It was somewhat industrial, and there were some things that closed, and it was also it had a downtown that was vibrant, and sprawl came in around the outside. The downtown died, and the downtown is really coming back now.
Gotcha.
For a bunch of reasons, and it's nice. It's a nice time to be there. I grew up there, but it's a nice time to be there now because it's like it's not totally gentrified where you can't afford to live there anymore.
Right.
But it's nice now, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's well, we were kind of discussing a little bit when we were coming in, but I grew up here. This is my hometown, and it was very, very industrial. You know, steel town, glass making, and all those jobs disappeared back in the early '80s, and they kind of everything moved out, and the downtown died really. You know, it's slowly coming back, but you know, I think it just takes people to get involved and commit to keeping it alive rather than you know, we have the Walmart and the Target and everything else outside of town, and just doesn't have the same. There's a lot of history here and a lot of character, you know. And I know a couple of years ago they rebuilt the whole downtown area, put in gas lights and all that kind of stuff, and there are parts of you know, Philadelphia, New York, Westchester. I don't know if you've ever gone through there in Pennsylvania, where you know, there's a very vibrant downtown, and that's what we're hoping to do here.
Yeah.
Just takes people to get involved in it. So, speaking of involvement, you know, there's one thing in doing my research. You definitely have causes that we could have a you and I could have a very long discussion. We could just cut out all the music and probably just have Air America music, the Air America show here. Because you know, I saw like Dennis Kucinich on your MySpace page and the involvement, you know, in politics, and somebody asked me the other day, a family. My thing is, you know, mining right now, mountaintop removal, and Marcellus Shale and all that kind of the environmental stuff. That, we're like right at ground zero for all that longwall mining and everything. So that's my deal, but. I see that, you know, as far as politics, you know, that I'm definitely left of center for sure, you know, but I also was, you know, back in when Kerry was running, I organized one of those concerts for Kerry. So, how do you feel about, you know, there are those folks out there that just like, hey man, just play your music, you know, you know, that like. The Dixie Chicks controversy. Right. My personal hero being Steve Earle. Yeah. So,
well, I mean, there's a bunch of things. One is that the mainstream media is owned by large corporations, some of which own energy companies and oil companies and stuff. So, there isn't really a free media anyway, in a sense. I mean, General Electric owns ABC, so we are the independent media, I think, as artists, but also in history, historically, when things happened in terms of like revolution or even just when change happened, artists and writers had to get the word out. They were, you know, they were there. But beyond any of that stuff, because that's all kind of very calculated, like I'm going to be the independent media, is that I just write about what is relevant to me in the moment, you know. So if my country's at war, eventually I'm going to write about it.